start out. This is the frame that we gotta go with. Want a conversion for the Magnum. So of course we're converting full interior, drivetrain, electronics, tech, everything from a 2017 into a 06 body, 2017 Charger, 06 Magnum body. You can see there's just a lot going on back there. But the thing that a lot of people don't really understand and realize is with the back seats, things are different on the Magnum compared to a Charger. The back seat of a Charger is this shell, and this shell is plastic, okay? It has metal bracing and framing on it. It has the latches right here to latch it so it can stay in the upright position and secure itself. But it's plastic. It's not because they cheaped out. It's not because they were cutting corners. It really ain't to save weight. It's because it doesn't have a seatbelt in it. On the Charger, you don't have a shoulder restraint in the middle piece of the seat because you have a package tray. In the Magnum, you don't have a package tray, so you can have that whole open area in the back. So you're left with this, okay? Instead of having this middle seat belt restraint come over the shoulder and the package tray, it's coming over the shoulder from your seat back. And in order to pull that off and make it safe and secure, you gotta have this solid bracing, this tubing, metal platform, this solid bracing all the way around. So my challenge is to retain this so that I don't hodgepodge. I mean, I could just fit it with a lap belt in the middle and call it a day, right? But when you're updating stuff, why not keep, the best tech that you can keep as well as the best safety features, right? When it comes to tech, you're gonna put all the speakers in there, you're gonna do all the audio system, you want the Uconnect and all that stuff to work. Well, why wouldn't you do the same thing when it comes to safety and, your family? I got 2 young kids. Of course, when I put their, their safety seats in there, I'm using the outer 2, seat positions. But say I need to move them to the middle seat position. You want them to be as secure as possible. Yeah, there are other hookups and connections on the car seats, but at the same time, you just want to have full opportunity and full availability. Plus, I think, the design of this thing, some engineering went into it. It's really cool. The latching mechanism, it knows when this is latched, so then it'll allow us to release the right way and vice versa when it's down, all those different things. So it's kind of cool. So here I am. I'm gonna try to do what I can do and get this thing to actually function and work. So yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna switch over to the GoPro. We'll get a little bit more, a little close up and maybe speed up some video, time lapse or something along those lines so you can really see what's going on and yeah, have some fun. Let's do it. Right, so done some slicing and dicing of this thing. Got it where I needed to be. So basically, just had to take the native foam from the Magnum, just slice that top layer off to get rid of anything that I didn't need, to bring it where I end up with the same thickness with that foam and this foam to fit the door. and to basically give it, the profile that I needed to give it. So essentially what I did on this side, again, just kind of brought it down, make sure I had the same profile. I wanted to keep some of this head bolstering. I think it just gives it more padding, and it just, keeps an even flow into this, because even though I'm using this whole headpiece here, I can squish this and push this into the cover. But I wanted to make sure I kept this transition. So I'll bring it a little closer. It's a Velcro strip in here that needs to kind of stay in the transition. So I didn't want to cut this and then, I'm trying to fit this into the transition of the old piece. I want to make sure that it's smooth, so when I put the leather on top of it, everything clicks in and does what it needs to do. So I kept that. I got to make sure I keep the same depth for the armrest that fits into there. I kept these pieces again just to make sure that I keep the profile. I just whittled them out in the back side and did it that way, but keep the profile. Same thing over here, kind of cut this out to keep the profile. This can now drop down, sit in there. Still got a little bit of work to do, a little fitment, a little bit of work, but the key is, it's pretty close. I'll mess with the leather cover real quick and just see, roughly how it, it's kind of wanting to go back together. But this isn't done because, again, I'll work a little bit more, do a little bit more fitment to the whole thing, and then what I'll do is I'll take the two pieces and glue them together. If I have any spots that I feel like I need to fill in a little bit, then I'll take some of the leftover foam. I got it in a bag over there. I'll take some of the leftover foam, and what I'll do is, just fill it in. I could use expanded foam, but I don't want it to expand and push anything and bulge and be, in a way that I don't want it to be. So I won't go that route. Even though the good thing about that is it would fill, and it would also, the expanded foam is tacky. It's almost like super glue in foam. It's weird. So it would stick to everything and it would kind of adhere everything together. But again, that foam is a lot more rigid, and so I don't want to make anything feel bumpy, lumpy, or weird. So I'll avoid that. I'll just use some good contact cement and go from there. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. Like I said, I'm gonna mess with the cover a little bit, just kind of see how it's how it feels a little bit in terms of putting it back on, but not really about to put it back on because I need to glue it all together. But overall, the part that I was really concerned about is pretty much done. Just kind of getting it close to where I want it to be. Like I said, there'll still be some work to really get this thing sitting in there and, glue a couple pieces up here or there. But overall, it's sitting like, where I want it to be. So like I said, right now, I just want to kind of give it just a rough feel, or rough fit, I should say. And just kind of see how my depths are looking. So yeah, once that piece goes with that, this piece goes with this, lays into that. It's going to be a much tighter fit than what it was factory, obviously, because even though I try to get it back to a similar thickness, I'm erring on the side of leaving it a little thicker than what it was. So I don't want it to be too thin, then you're trying to find a way to add material back. So again, overall it's fitting quite nice. At least in the way that I would want it. This piece here is sitting exactly where I think it needs to be. Gives me that pressure once everything is tight. Move this up a little bit. I think we're in the ballpark. Things are getting right so where we need to be. Overall, this will drop down into there. Actually, I do know what else I need to do. I need to actually cut this piece out. That reminds me. Yeah, because I won't need that. Let me see. What the heck, bro? Yeah, once this armrest sits in there, I won't need most of that. So I got a little bit more foam that I can cut off the top probably to make that fit a little bit better. So yep, cool. I'll get my knife out and adjust. Got a little bit more cutting, so I got this block right here that I can get rid of right below this. So that's fine. That'll actually make it easier. So there we are. I'll keep working at it, but just, you know, again, a quick video, give you an idea of how to do it, what you're kind of you're gonna get into. You know, when you want to do this type of stuff, it's custom, but you got to do it right. You know, I could have just used the seat the way that it was. I had the seat installed the way that it was actually with the plastic backing, but like I said, I want to have that middle seat belt be functional and working properly. You know, not only from an aesthetic standpoint, but from a safety standpoint. So made sure I wanted to do that. And then, you know, like I said, from when you think of it from an aesthetic standpoint, you got to think that I'm not gonna say a lot of people with these. You know, when I pull up at a car show, car event, whatever it is, and the people that I do see, they're not gonna go to that degree. You know, either they'll still have the stock interior in there, or they'll just hodgepodge and make it look like they got this interior in there. But I wanted to pass, you know, when a true car guru gets in there, looks at it, messes with it, moves it around, sees like, oh, that's stock. That's how it is from stock. Oh, wow. Oh, you made that? How did you make that? Like that's the type of response that I'm looking for. So again, not here to really cut corners. You know, you'll see more videos on the car coming. It looks like it's a mess right here, right now, because there's just so much stuff in here. But trust me, I'm able to maneuver around and get to it and do what I got to do. Had the car for about a year now. Took the first couple months, just stripped everything out of the charger. That carcass is still outside, so I got to figure out. Still debating what I want to do with it. Once I build my other shop, if I could keep it, I might keep it, only because it has some good components on it from a body perspective. If I found like a Hellcat or a Scat or something, probably a Hellcat, I wouldn't even probably get a Scat, but if I found a Hellcat that maybe rolled over or had crazy quarter panel damage, rear ended, any of those types of things, perfect car, because the whole back half of that car is pretty good. Front half, even the front half, honestly, frame rails are still fairly straight. So if I needed those, that wouldn't be terrible. The whole driver's side is good. The passenger side is the side that kind of got messed up. B pillar post, no good. C pillar area, not really good. But that's mostly the external body. So, like I said, just debating. But wanted to have a quick little video, kind of walk through, whatever you want to say for this. But again, look at the other videos on the playlist. Street Trends Garage. Look out for us this year when we out and about doing car interviews, reviews, whatever it is. You know, trying to bring something different to the YouTube. Not trying to do just the typical car reviews, but really trying to get out there, show the culture of the cars, you know, show how people, you know, soup their cars up, deck their cars out, you know, make them unique, make them their own, and just follow some of the trends out here. So that's why we call it street trends. Just follow the trends on the streets, what people actually, how they actually, you know, customize and set their cars up, how they do that stuff, you know, in day to day. How they take it from just stock to, again, personalizing and making it theirs. And so just more of that. This is my process of what I'm doing. So you'll see a lot of how-tos and just some of the behind the scenes of how I built this car out on our garage playlist. But the other playlists, you know, you're mostly going to see a lot of just the, you know, like I said, the interviews and behind the scenes of just some of these events and what people are doing with their cars and really getting their perspective on, you know, why they built their car a certain way or why they fell in love with that particular car. And, you know, just try to bring some real good, high quality video footage of those vehicles and go from there. Street Trends, we out.